We're not going down that rabbit hole. That's walled off right now.
No, but what Cousins does really well rolling to play action to his left. It's an
That's
incredible
how he
thing to
carved up
watch.
the Lions.
Yeah, exactly. Roll left, set and throw. He throws a great ball when he rolls to his left. His right, he doesn't do it that often, but even rolling to his right, he's not bad. But there's something about when they run play action with him rolling left, things open up, and he's just been really good with it. It's nice to see. Maybe it was good that these guys opened their mouths and somebody heard them because.
Well, you rarely hear Thielen say anything, man. He's a quiet guy. When he comes out, that kind of means something.
Yeah, but you know what we found out about Kirk Cousins, what I don't think a lot of people know. Kirk Cousins literally lives what everybody thinks Tom Brady is. Like Tom Brady showed when he did that, Brady versus time or Tom versus time, he showed that he's a psychopath asshole, okay? Like he just eats football players alive. He just eats football players alive. He don't care that some bitch just wants to win, and he will eat your children to do so. Like Kirk Cousins literally is like, man, I drive a minivan. Don't yell at me. I'll throw you the ball. I'm sorry, man.
Tom Brady
NFC Phillip Rivers with like 8 kids.
Tom Brady throws away cell phones, and Kirk Cousins still has a bag phone. I mean, that's
Kirk Cousins like, don't throw that away. I can fix that and get it back to you by next week. Exactly. I can save you $50.
Hey, is that why we've never seen Kirk Cousins on like a Good Morning Football interview or guest because he has like a rotary phone?
No, he's on good. Actually, he's on Good Morning Football all the time. They love him.
He's one of their favorite people.
Burleson won't shut up about him. Good God,
they love him. Listen, we've seen a different quarterback though in the last 4 weeks. Now again, he's played the Giants, who are not great, the Eagles, who have had problems in the secondary, the Lions, who were beat up in that game. And last week he had a nice game on Thursday night on a short week. It was nothing spectacular, but that's the Redskins, who are pretty sad. So 4-0 in the last 4 games, but against what? I temper my expectations. I'm happy they won the 4, but in all honesty, those are 4 games they should have won.
Well, the next 4 games for y'all.
1-3. 1-3.
Really?
Yeah, 1-3.
So, do you think Mahomes plays this Sunday? Because I've heard they're playing him on the Titans.
Yeah, he'll probably play just to piss me off.
Great. Now every Vikings fan's gonna think, man, Pat Mahomes sat because he's buddy with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
watch
exactly from those stupid Allstate commercials, right?
God damn, they're my homies, right, Jay?
It's just
they're my homies, and then when they're in the Super Bowl together, it puts a conundrum on not only the agent but the State Farm agents, because the State Farm agents are unified, but then they'll be on opposite sides of the field, therefore not being unified, and they're competing against each other.
This is what I get every single night.
I'm just saying, it makes for an interesting dynamic of commercial. And not to mention, you've got the State Farm agents fighting and glaring at each other from across the field. You have the schizophrenic actual sports agent who represents both of the best friends, who has to try to run back and forth to support both and communicate. It's just a great commercial. I want it to happen. I'm sorry.
Now, Julius, are you there, bud? Oh, it looks like he might have stepped away. It may have been a bathroom break or something.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. All right, never mind. So how do you feel about Cook? I asked JB that. Is a lot of wear and tears being used on him already? I don't know if basically the horse's legs are going to get tired later on in the season. Do you think he's going to be fine, the stamina? Because we've seen it at Florida State, but that was 13 games instead of 16 plus the playoffs.
Well, I think this season they're going to continue to lean on him, and he's in his prime, so I could see Dalvin going for like 2,000 yards.
Seriously. JB, you hear that?
I wouldn't put it past him, but because quite honestly, he faces some pretty light run defenses in the second half of the season. It's possible that
Chiefs are bad run defense.
He's still one of those backs though that can like against the Lions. There are a few plays where like we had him in a corner and he got out of it.
Yeah,
and, like he's slippery. He's
got that escapability. Yeah, he really does.
He's the opposite of AP that we've grown up to know. Like AP was just a bull. He would hammer you, jump cut you in the same thing. Yeah, Dalvin's slippery. He will literally spin you in Madden all day, and you won't touch him.
No,
he gets 4 yards when he get nothing.
He reminds me of that old cartoon thing that they used to do where they like stick their leg way out and their toe gets there and then they like slink way through. Like he does that with the line. Like he sticks his toe in a hole and it's like, how the hell did he get through there?
Did you just call Dalvin Cook a slinky?
No, I said like they slink through there because they like stretch their leg out and it's like the toe just fits in a crack and then whoop, he's through it. It's like, what the hell how did that happen?
And now they're starting to use him in the passing game, which is scary.
Yes.
That can be really scary. What he did last week, against Skins was nuts.
Here's a rabbit hole quickly because I want your opinion because it brings into the Packers. How dumb does Mike McCarthy look right now over his misuse of Aaron Jones?
You couldn't have waited till the Packers segment?
I just had to. He brought up pass catching. It just popped in my head.
But it took Matt LaFleur a little bit of time to use him too, right? It wasn't like they just started using him.
Matt LaFleur was coming in as a second-year play caller, first-time head coach, 39 years old, and also scrapped his entire zone stretch scheme for a inside zone scheme at week 5. So you have to give him.
But no, I see what JB's saying because of LaFleur still installing his offense by week 4. I see what you're saying, JB.
Yeah. He had to figure it out, and he really didn't have much to go on. I loved Mike McCarthy. He's my favorite Packer coach because he kept us in every game against you guys. He really
kept
did.
Us in every game.
McCarthy kept us in every game. It was great.
God.
It's like Packers should kill us. No, Mike McCarthy's on the other sideline. It's all good. He's the great equalizer.
I thought a compliment was coming. Next thing you know, a backhanded slap. Boom.
Okay, go on.
All right.
Back to the Vikings now.
Any more random Packers snap to quick gerbil thoughts?
No. I mean,
I can't guarantee it won't happen again. It's who I am.
Fucking Dory, Jesus.
That is you, sir, and you gave yourself that name because you said I have the memory of a goldfish, and I said, "Oh, so you're freaking Dory then?" And you're like, got all offended and shit. It's like
we are not arguing Disney characters on this show.
You are now Dory, and our other partner is now Mr. White Claw. Okay, so
no, Pat, it's White Claw 365.
White Claw.
Shout out
our Packers 365 post-game host. Yeah, that was pretty fun. He was completely schmammered on White Claws, so now he is White Claw 365 is his personal name. So.
And Dave is going to change his to @Dory.
@Dory.
Yeah.
With the second-place Vikes on a hot streak, it seems the wins are like a cure-all. And you brought this up before, JB, is the drama was there. I mean, but once Vikes start, you just said that you think they're going to go 1-3. Say a couple consecutive losses come. Maybe the passes don't come as often again. Do you think the receivers start calling out Cousins again? Do you think that the drama kicks back up again because of the losses?
I don't think there are too many teams that don't have drama when they start to lose.
Agreed.
The Patriots might be one of those teams that don't.
They're just weird, man.
Yeah, it's a weird. It really is. But yeah, so yeah, if the Vikings go into a hole or they start to struggle, yeah, there's going to be some nitpicking and some yipping going on. I guarantee it. It's the nature of the game. It's the nature of the team. That said, if they win 3 out of 4 in the next 4 games, it'll all be quiet. You won't hear anything. if the receivers are getting their passes, if they're losing games because of our secondary is blowing games, and the receivers are getting their passes, you're not going to hear from them. They want the ball, and I don't blame them for it. I just hope that the Vikings don't regress with their offense, because really lately it's been great to watch them. They've opened things up a little bit. They've got we talked about this already. They're great mix on the offense. The play action has been tremendous.
This is what Spielman envisioned with Cousins signing here. Was this 4-game streak, but he wants it for longer, obviously.
Yeah, and now he's got to do it against the Chiefs on the road with Mahomes. And these will be the comparisons, and we talked about this. It shouldn't really be quarterback versus quarterback, but these will be the comparisons. He's got to go play Mahomes on the road. He's got to go play an overrated Dak Prescott on the road.
Agreed.
He's got to go. He's got to go play Russ Wilson on the road. That's tough.
Seattle's brutal. I understand they've had 2 losses there, but man. Yeah, Seattle's just a horrible place to play as an away game. Every time we play Seattle, I'm always like, please be at a home game, please.
It's horrible. I hate going there. I just hate going there. So you're looking at probably your three of your toughest games in the final 8, all road games. Mm-hmm. If you can steal one of those, you got to consider it a win. Quite honestly, I mean, listen, the Vikings, I love them. They're not one of the elite teams in the league. They just aren't.
With how they've played, you won't list them elite.
No, they're not elite, and I'll tell you why. Because our secondary is exposed. Look at the games. You can look at, quite honestly, if Keenum doesn't go into concussion protocol on Thursday night, that might be a tighter game than the 10-point spread that they have.
Keenum is I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Keenum after he left Minnesota.
Either, but he was 13 out of 16, I think, when he went out of the game.
He was. Yeah, actually, I'll give him that. He was
picking the Vikings secondary apart. A good quarterback is going to pick that secondary apart, because Xavier Rhodes is not 2017 Xavier Rhodes. Trey Waynes is not a first-round pick that they wasted on him. And people say, Waynes is having a good year. Yeah, you're comparing him to the guy on the other side of the ball who's having a horrible year. Waynes is having an okay year, but looking at the analytics, it's really not that great. Our cornerbacks are killing us, and it's been the offense that's carried this team for 4 weeks for the most part. So I don't know. At some point, the defense is going to have to win you a game, and I don't know that they can right now.
I mean, Julius, what do you think, man? Do you think that the drama could cause a problem with if the Vikings drop a couple games in a row?
Oh, definitely. It could definitely come back, especially with Cousins, because he's already had a taste of it this season. So, I mean, winning cures everything. So,
it's a cure-all, yeah.
Sure.
As long as they're winning, it's okay. But if they lose a couple, hopefully it's not because of the offense. But I'm just going to say that because, I mean, the secondary right now is depleted. I mean, it's not even depleted. It's just not.
No, it's just bad.
Yeah.
It's not depleted. It's just bad.
It's weird for a Zimmer defense, too.
Yeah, and, I mean, it's doable, though. I mean, the Minnesota has the offensive – right now they have the offensive firepower, and their front seven is good enough to get them to the playoffs. But, I mean, if they drop a couple games and Cousins – if the offense regresses at all, then that's when you start to worry.
Well, you know what? I just had something pop in my head on this for the secondary being mentioned by both of y'all. Jaron Curse was arrested on gun and drug charges. What is going on with that? I know you probably got insight of some sort. I know you got connections, Mr. JB.
I actually don't. I have
really.
No, I have no connections on this. Mike Hughes was in the car with him, so that doesn't help either.
Don't tell him. God.
No, it's come out now that Hughes was with him, and Hughes was so hammered that he was puking on the side of the road. So there's a kid I had a lot of hopes for, and I still do. I mean,
I liked Mike Hughes in the draft. I wanted the Packers to get him if we could in the draft.
I love the kid, and I will try and chalk that up to making a mistake. But I want to know whose gun it was. Zim's not happy with either of them. I mean, grow up. be an adult.